Jess here. Today I want to talk a little bit about some tips for new PalFish teachers on getting students. Over the past month or so, I've had quite a few teachers use my referral codes, and there's a lot of little things that would pop up here and there, and they'd be like, "Oh shoot, I want to tell them this, I want to tell them this," and they know who they are because I'll send them messages and be like, "Oh, I forgot to tell you about this." But so I thought that I would create a video that would hopefully help them as well as any other teachers that come my way or any other new teachers who are on PalFish and come across my video because of its title. So before I get started, I just want to talk about one thing too. This video is being filmed horizontally. Someone saw one of my videos and suggested that I film horizontally. It's not exactly conducive to my setup, so I'm going to see how it goes. It feels a little awkward because I'm looking in a different spot, but we'll see. If it looks better on your end or if it was at all bothersome the other way, just let me know and I will, try to make it so that things are better for you. So, tips for gaining students on PalFish. There are so many ways to draw students to you on PalFish, and it's one of the really awesome things that I love about PalFish and sort of kept me away from some other companies. So as you know, or maybe you don't, if you're here and you're just hearing about PalFish, PalFish is an app. Okay, so PalFish is either on your phone or on your iPad. It's completely social, as most mobile device apps are, right? So you can communicate with your families, you communicate with teachers, you have a news feed like you do on Facebook or Instagram and many other social apps, which is really nice. So there's a lot of different ways that you can communicate or sort of portray who you are to your students, and those are what I'm going to talk about today. And I do have some things here on paper, so if I look away, I apologize. I will try to keep from looking at it as much as possible. So the first thing is lives. Lives are classes or sort of just like live videos that you hold or have for students to come to learn about really anything that you want to share. And they don't really necessarily even have to be educational. They can be about anything. They can be scheduled weeks in advance. They can be planned, last minute. They can kind of be done however you want. You can upload slides into your live. You can just wing it if you want to, and be yourself on your live. You can, there's so many different things that you can do with your live. You can charge if you want. I would suggest not charging unless it's something, that should get charged, that people should pay for. The lives that I've done definitely aren't things that people should pay for, and my whole point is just to get students to come to me, see who I am, get to know me, and hopefully then want to book with me. And so far I do feel that I have gained several students from my live videos, and so they are definitely something that I would suggest you do. Now I know that initially teachers are like, I want to do them, but I don't know what to do. Teachers do lives on literally everything from about me's to reading books to what's in my fridge or a grocery store haul, or I know that a lot of teachers will do the IELTS test, the speaking test. I personally did one book. I did 2 books. First one didn't go so well. Second one went pretty well, and I kind of did a whole theme with it. So there was a book, there was a song to go with it. I did If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, and then Who Took the Cookie from the Cookie Jar, and then I had cookies, which I actually decorated with the students, and they gave me some ideas of what they wanted to put on the cookies, and I think that one went pretty well. I did an Easter pancakes one, so I had the kids actually watch me make pancakes. I showed them, I had squeezy bottles with pancake mix. They helped me decide what colors we wanted to make each bottle, and then we made pancakes in shapes of Easter things like eggs and flowers and Easter bunnies and things like that, and that was really fun. So those were my 2 best lives. Another live I did was reading a book, just a book. Didn't go so well. I don't think I left much time for it, and maybe I didn't make it seem interesting enough, but the other 2, I'd say within a day or so, had 20 people enrolled, And then afterwards, lives can gain more people if students watch them afterwards. And one of them right now is at like 70 and one is in the 50s. So I'm pretty happy with that. I definitely have noticed that when I look at the list of attendees that some of those students are now my students or have to at some point come to me. So that's pretty cool. So if you do a live, I would suggest doing something fun. Do something that you're comfortable with for sure, but you want to do something that's going to draw the kids to you. I know a lot of teachers will do About Me lives. If that's something you are interested in, you could definitely do that as well. But I think that just doing something that to them is going to seem fun and interesting, I think is the best bet. So lives are the first thing. Then you have your moments, which is like your news feed on any social platform. I think that it's really important when it comes to your moments to think about who your audience is. Now, you have students who play around on the app and they see teachers and they probably say, oh, mommy, daddy, I want to go to this teacher. And then you have parents who scroll on the app and say, oh, this teacher seems like she's going to teach my child well. This teacher, knows about this. And so I think it's important to remember that you have two audiences. You have parents and you have students. So you want to mix up your moment posts. You want to make sure that you are drawing the attention of both students and their parents, as they are who you want to appeal to. So some examples might be posting educational worksheets. I've done things where I've done like for a week or so like a color of the day, and I'll have the color on my screen and just kind of like fun things of different colors. I'll do the word of the day, things like that, and then ask for feedback on sentences, asking students to use the word in a sentence. And those are things that I also share in my student groups, which is another thing for another day. So we have lives, we have moments. Another great piece or component of PalFish is the reading app. Now the reading app can be used in many different ways. The reading app is free to students and to teachers. So essentially it is an app where you can read books. You can read books, you can listen to books, you can comment on books. You can challenge students to sort of quiz, on a quiz to see who will win, and based on questions on the book or ask, about the story. And so some of the ways that this helps get students is that if you are listening to students' books, you can like their books. Students that get a notification, so-and-so, teacher Jess, liked my book. You can comment on the student's book. Great reading, super job, put a fun picture. And they say, oh, teacher Jess is fun. She liked my books. I want to go see her profile. And then they might get to your profile and say, hey, I want to take a class with her. You can also follow students. Again, that's going to pop up on their notifications. So anything that's really going to draw a student to your profile to check you out. Now you want to make sure that your profile is appealing, right? You want to make sure that your audio intro is clear, that your voice is pleasant, that you sound fun and engaging. You want to make sure that you have your video at the top of your profile. And you should be getting messages if you are a teacher on how to do that. You can post your video to your moments, and then there is a link that you can go to let the admin team know that your video has been posted, and then shortly after that will be posted for you. So you want to make sure that if you are leading students and parents to your profile, that there's something there that's going to continue to encourage them to book with you. And that profile, you have so much there that your moments are shown for them, your video is there, your intro is there, your text introduction. You want to make sure that it's engaging, that it shows who you are, and that it's going to make them want to give you a try. Other than that, you have teacher tasks. And so throughout my few months with PalFish, there's been a couple of these. There has been one that has asked teachers to write stories about different things. Now, of course, you may not always get chosen for something, but I would suggest always putting yourself out there for anything that they ask, because you might end up on the Instagram page, you might end up on the Facebook page, you might end up in the admin's feeds or moments or PalFish's moments. You want to get put out there as often as possible. And so anytime that there is a possibility of doing that, I would definitely suggest doing it. If you're on Instagram, PalFish often runs Instagram challenges where they'll ask you to post and, hashtag different things. And if you get chosen, then they share you on their newsfeed. They share you in different areas. And so again, anything that will get you exposure to students, I think is going to be beneficial for you. So we've got lives, we have moments. Your reading app, you have many things in there that you can do. You can read books, let students hear you, listen to books, comment on books, follow students, like their books. Then you have teacher tasks, and those are just those things that are getting you out there depending on if you win or not, but it's always good to do that. And then finally, that intro video, which is in your profile, and everything that's included in your profile. So for your intro video, it's not very long. For mine, I added some music, I included some props. You just want to be engaging. Show families who you are. Show them that your class is going to be fun, but their child is also going to learn. And I think you'll be on a good start. So I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you're considering joining PalFish, please feel free to reach out to me at workathomchaos@gmail.com. I'd be happy to answer any questions for you. And if you're already a PalFish teacher, good luck to you. I hope that your journey is fantastic and that you are having a great time